going on, y'all? This is another little short video. It's not going to be real long. I'm answering messages in bulk here. I got a few messages since I made the couple videos about how I created polar bears and what happened after I left. That there was a few rumors, and these are questions people was asking me. There's a stutter, yo, there's a few rumors going around that polar bears dropped their flags and went over to be dogs, which is DMI. So I'm gonna answer the questions right now and clear it up. My last 6 months in the system, I was at MCTC, Maryland Correctional Training Center, known in the Maryland prison system as the new jail. So I was up there, and we was about 10, 12 of us scattered through the whole prison. A couple of us in housing unit 6, a couple of us over the huts, a couple of us in open housing in 1 and 2, and then there were 2 on lockup that I can recall. Okay, now a little while before I left, I was over the huts. A couple months before I left, I got switched over to the huts because I was about to go home. My brother was over there. They allowed us to be in the huts together. They just said we couldn't be in the same dorm. What the huts is hut 1, hut 2, and there used to be a hut 3. This is when I was there, and each one had 2 dorms. I was in one hut, he was in the other. And Ice, at the time, this dude Ice was my number 2 guy. When I left Ice in charge. Ice made my brother his number 2 guy. So leading up to my release, I started to lay back. Like, you know, I'm not getting down anymore. I'll be here for, I guess you could say, moral support. But my girl has already wrote me and said that if I fuck up again, I might as well just lose her number. And I didn't fucking want that to happen, because the same girl who wrote that threatening letter that I need to lose her number if I get fucked up again, jammed up again, on lockup again, lose more good days again, that same girl is now my wife. We have 2 little girls. So yeah. So anyway, when I went home, or let me back up a little bit. When I was about to go home, I arranged who I was leaving in my spot, who was going to be his number 2, because in my head I'm thinking, who's mentally strong enough to lead? Who can think of situations a few steps ahead before the situations happen? Or who has the smarts enough that in case a situation happen, they can lead the polar bears to where the polar bears don't have to get jammed up. This is what I was analyzing in my head at the time. So, like I said, I left Ice in my spot because it's only right. He was the number 2 guy. He learned a lot under me. He learned a lot being wise in there. And my brother was his number 2. So I go home October 2nd, 2006. I go to visit my brother 90 days later, because the Maryland Division of Corrections has a rule: you got to be out 90 days. This is how it was when I was in. I don't know. It might have changed now. It could be new rules. I don't know. But when I got released, I had to wait 90 days before I could come and visit anyone else in the Division of Corrections. So I went to visit him, and he was telling me how people were dropping their flags and going over to be dogs, and the people who's dropping their flags are over in the huts, and he's now switched to a spot called the Hill, which is kind of like JPRU, but the Hagerstown version. JPRU is just a pre-release unit. It's wide open. You can go to work uptown. You know, it's a pre-release. The Hill is kind of like that, but it's in Hagerstown. And my brother was transferred there between the time I was released and the time I went visiting. So he's telling me how polar bears are switching over to be dogs. It's real fucked up after I left, and I'm kind of, you know, in a sense, I kind of don't care because I'm home, but at the same time, I've only been home 90 days, so the polar bear world was still intertwined in my system, I guess you could say. But I was mad at the same time. At the same time, I didn't care. I know it sounds kind of confusing, but so I got an argument with him. I'm like, why are you allowing this to happen, dude? I created this shit from scratch. We had a good reputation. Like, we were making big moves with big organizations, and we were like, what the fuck, man? And he's like, what am I supposed to do? And I'm like, you fucking smash them if you can get near them. Smash on sight, dude. Them rules are there for a reason. And then we was arguing back and forth, so I just, at the time, I'm like, bro, a couple days later, he called me. I'm like, bro, I'm fucking home, man. You know what? It's yours. You do what you want. I think it's fucked up what you're doing, or with the lack of what you're doing. But I'm home, yo. You know, I gotta make and do what's best for me out here so I don't end up in there again. So yeah, what the messages I'm getting is true. Polar bears did drop their flags and switch over, but trust and fucking believe happened after I left. That shit did piss me off, but at the same time I had to come to the conclusion I was home and nothing I can do about it. Can't get mad over things you have no control over. So it was what it was, you know. I didn't, what the fuck am I going to do? Ain't nothing I can do. I can't control it. I can't, you know. But yeah, so to answer people's concerns and questions, their polar bears is no more. All of them dropped flags because they didn't have the heart and the fortitude to stand on their own and just keep it going. I don't know. Some people's built, some people ain't. Some people's, you know, on a high caliber and are leaders. Some people are just followers. So I don't know, man. So I hope that answers y'all's questions. And like I said, more videos will be coming. Y'all be cool, be kind, be safe. See ya.